In the vast, ever-accelerating current of digital information, moments rise and fall with bewildering speed. What constitutes history in an age where yesterday's sensation is tomorrow's forgotten feed post? This is a question we aim to probe. We're embarking on an investigation into the fleeting nature of pop culture phenomena that, for a brief, intense period, captivated millions, only to recede into memory. These aren't just fads, they are cultural timestamps, reflecting the collective consciousness of their era. Our journey will uncover the genesis, explosive growth, and eventual quiet fade of these defining, yet now historical, internet events. How does a simple video, a bizarre pose, or a call to action become a global talking point almost overnight? The mechanics of virality are complex, often unpredictable, and sometimes, even engineered. As an investigative look, we must ask, what were the ingredients? Who were the catalysts? And perhaps most importantly, what was the underlying societal impulse that allowed these specific moments to resonate so profoundly? We'll analyze case studies that illustrate the diverse pathways to internet fame, from organic spread to targeted campaigns, examining the evidence left behind in digital archives and cultural commentary. Our first case study, the Harlem Shake. For a few frantic weeks in early 2013, the internet was awash with short, chaotic videos featuring a distinctive electronic beat. But where did it begin? The Harlem Shake dance itself predates the internet phenomenon, evolving within New York City's Harlem neighborhood in the early 1980s. However, the viral sensation we remember wasn't a direct adaptation of that dance. Evidence suggests the internet meme truly began with a YouTube video uploaded on February 2, 2013, by a user known as Filthy Frank, an Australian comedian. This initial upload featured only 5 people, but set the template. The Filthy Frank video established the now iconic format, a group of people, often in a seemingly mundane setting, with one person dancing alone for the first 15 seconds. Then, a sudden bass drop, and the entire group erupts into a frenzied, often bizarre, dance. Reports from Mashable in February 2013 noted that what made this format so potent was its simplicity and replicability. Anyone with a camera and a group of friends could create their own version. This low barrier to entry is often cited by cultural analysts as a key factor in a meme's potential for widespread adoption, transforming passive viewers into active participants. Within days of Filthy Frank's upload, the meme exploded. Data from YouTube, later reported by The Guardian, indicated that by mid-February 2013, over 12,000 Harlem Shake videos had been uploaded daily, accumulating hundreds of millions of views. Universities, military units, even major corporations were producing their own versions. This was not merely a passive consumption of content, it was an active, global participatory phenomenon. The Infectious Beat, by electronic artist Bora, itself climbed music charts, demonstrating the meme's cross-platform impact. The speed of its dissemination was unprecedented for its time, highlighting the evolving power of social sharing. The Harlem Shake reached its zenith in late February and early March 2013. However, the very factors that fueled its rapid ascent also contributed to its swift decline: oversaturation. Cultural commentators, like those from The Atlantic, began noting a fatigue among internet users. The novelty wore off as countless iterations offered diminishing returns in originality. What began as a spontaneous, anarchic expression quickly became formulaic. The market, so to speak, became flooded, and attention, a finite resource online, moved on. This pattern of rapid saturation and subsequent decline is a common thread in many internet trends. Today, the Harlem Shake is a relic of early 2010s internet culture, a historical footnote in the evolution of memes. Its legacy, however, is significant. It demonstrated the unprecedented power of user-generated content and the collective desire for participatory entertainment. According to digital media scholars, it cemented the meme as a global cultural currency, proving that short-form, easily reproducible content could transcend language barriers and demographic divides. While its chaotic energy is no longer prevalent, its ghost lives on in every new viral challenge, a testament to the internet's capacity for collective, fleeting joy. Shifting gears dramatically, our next historical moment is Connery 2012. Released on March 5, 2012, by the organization Invisible Children, this 30-minute documentary-style video aimed to raise global awareness about Joseph Connery, the leader of the Lord's Resistance Army, LRA, in Uganda, and his alleged atrocities, including child abductions and the use of child soldiers. The video's explicit goal was to make Connery famous, thereby pressuring international governments to act. It was an unprecedented experiment in social media activism, fusing documentary filmmaking with an urgent call to action designed for maximum shareability. The response was immediate and overwhelming. Within 24 hours, the Connery 2012 video had garnered millions of views. By March 9, it had accumulated over 100 million views across various platforms, a milestone virtually unheard of for a documentary film at the time. Celebrities, politicians, and everyday citizens shared the video, often expressing shock and outrage. The campaign utilized a multi-platform strategy, encouraging viewers to write to policymakers and to participate in a global cover-the-night event, plastering posters of Connery in public spaces. This rapid viral dissemination highlighted the immense power of emotional appeals online. However, the campaign's meteoric rise was swiftly followed by intense scrutiny and criticism. Reports from news outlets like NPR and the New York Times, among others, began to question the video's accuracy, its simplistic portrayal of a complex conflict, and Invisible Children's financial practices. Critics argued the film oversimplified the LRA conflict, presenting a dated narrative that failed to acknowledge Connery's diminished presence in Uganda by 2012. Others accused the organization of slacktivism, suggesting the campaign offered a feel-good solution without requiring genuine, sustained engagement. The controversy intensified as journalists and researchers scrutinized Invisible Children's operational transparency and resource allocation. While the organization asserted its commitment to aid, financial reports, according to Charity Navigator, showed a significant portion of its budget allocated to filming, travel, and staff salaries rather than direct on-the-ground programs. This revelation fueled public distrust. The rapid success of Connery 2012, therefore, became a double-edged sword. While it achieved unprecedented awareness, it also subjected the organization to a level of public and journalistic examination it was ill-prepared to handle, ultimately undermining its credibility. The campaign's unraveling was punctuated by a highly public incident involving Invisible Children co-founder Jason Russell. Days after the video's peak, Russell was filmed publicly acting erratically in San Diego, reportedly suffering from a stress-induced breakdown. This event, widely reported by major news outlets, provided further fuel for critics and significantly damaged the campaign's public image. While mental health issues are serious, the timing and public nature of Russell's breakdown inextricably linked it to the intense pressure and scrutiny surrounding Connery 2012, further accelerating its decline from a celebrated cause to a cautionary tale. The Connery 2012 phenomenon, though short-lived, offers invaluable insights into the volatile dynamics of digital activism. It demonstrated the immense power of social media to mobilize global attention but also exposed its limitations and pitfalls, the tendency towards oversimplification, the rapid cycle of enthusiasm and disillusionment, and the unforgiving nature of online scrutiny. While Connery was not captured as a direct result of the campaign, and LRA activity significantly decreased, the incident serves as a historical benchmark. According to a 2014 study published in the Journal of Communication, it fundamentally altered discussions around global advocacy in the digital age. From global activism to something far more peculiar, planking. This trend, which gained massive traction in 2011 and 2012, involved participants lying face down, rigid and straight, in unusual or public locations. The goal was typically to be photographed and share the image online. While rudimentary forms of this activity existed earlier under names like the lying down game in the UK, Its global explosion as planking is widely attributed to Australia. Online forums and news reports from the time, such as those from the Sydney Morning Herald, document its rapid adoption across the continent before spreading worldwide. What fueled the widespread appeal of planking? Its core mechanics were incredibly simple. Anyone could do it, anywhere. This low barrier to entry, much like the Harlem Shake, was crucial. But it was the element of absurdity that propelled it into viral fame. The humor derived from juxtaposing a mundane human form with an unexpected, often precarious, environment. Social media platforms, particularly Facebook and Twitter, became galleries for these bizarre displays. Researchers in social psychology, examining the phenomenon, suggested it tapped into a collective human desire for playful defiance against the ordinary, a brief escape into mild public spectacle. As planking grew in popularity, so did the ambition of its participants to find ever more extreme and dangerous locations. This escalation introduced a significant risk factor. News reports from Australia and the UK tragically documented instances of injuries, and even fatalities, directly linked to attempts at dangerous planking. For example, in May 2011, a man in Brisbane, Australia, died after attempting to plank on a 7th-story balcony railing. These incidents sparked public debate and condemnation from authorities, who warned against the dangers of attempting the trend in hazardous situations, transforming a seemingly innocuous meme into a public safety concern. Planking's peak was intense but relatively short-lived, primarily spanning 2011 and early 2012. Like many internet trends, its novelty waned as the risk-taking aspects became more prominent and its basic premise became repetitive. The initial humor and rebellious charm eventually gave way to a sense of exhaustion and, for many, boredom. Cultural commentators often point to the inherent self-limiting nature of these simple, repetitive memes. They offer instant gratification but lack the depth for sustained engagement. Once the visual surprise is gone, there is little left to hold attention. Despite its controversial aspects and eventual fade, planking remains a curious footnote in internet history. It showcased the power of collective, shared absurdity in the early social media era. Its influence can be seen in subsequent, similarly structured physical challenges like teboing or the mannequin challenge, which built upon the concept of striking an unusual pose for photographic or video documentation. According to digital ethnographers, planking exemplifies a period when the internet was still discovering its capacity for strange, spontaneous, and globally shared performance art, before the algorithms became quite so sophisticated in curating our feeds. Our final deep dive takes us to a phenomenon with a distinctly altruistic core, the Ice Bucket Challenge. During the summer of 2014, social media feeds were deluged with videos of people dousing themselves with buckets of ice water. But this wasn't just for laughs. The challenge was designed to raise awareness and funds for amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, or ALS, also known as Lou Gehrig's disease. Participants would film themselves accepting the challenge, then nominate others to do the same, requiring them either to take the plunge or donate to ALS research, or ideally, both. While the exact origin is debated, the challenge gained initial momentum among professional athletes in the Boston area in mid-2014. One key figure cited by reports from the ALS Association was Pete Frates, a former Boston College baseball player diagnosed with ALS, who championed the challenge. From these local beginnings, it rapidly spread. Celebrities from Hollywood to Silicon Valley embraced it, and soon, ordinary individuals across the globe joined in. This rapid escalation demonstrated how personal connections and celebrity endorsement could transform a regional fundraising effort into a worldwide cultural moment. The financial impact of the Ice Bucket Challenge was truly unprecedented for a social media campaign. According to the ALS Association's official reports, the challenge raised over $115 million for ALS research in just 8 weeks during the summer of 2014. This was a staggering increase compared to the $2.5 million raised in the same period the previous year. These funds were directed towards research initiatives, patient care, and advocacy. The sheer scale of donations demonstrated that viral internet trends, when harnessed effectively, could translate into tangible, real-world philanthropic impact. Despite its immense success, the Ice Bucket Challenge was not immune to the slacktivism debate that often shadows online activism. Critics, including some academics quoted in the Washington Post, questioned whether the viral nature overshadowed the actual cause, suggesting many participants were more interested in the performance than the underlying disease. However, proponents countered that even if some motivation was performative, the tangible fundraising results could not be ignored. This tension between visible participation and genuine commitment remains a recurring theme in digital social movements, raising questions about the true efficacy of fleeting online engagement. Perhaps the most enduring legacy of the Ice Bucket Challenge lies in its direct contribution to scientific progress. The funds raised directly facilitated significant breakthroughs in ALS research. One notable achievement, reported by the ALS Association, was the discovery of the NEK1 gene, a new gene associated with ALS. This discovery opened new avenues for understanding the disease's mechanisms and developing potential treatments. This example stands as strong evidence that viral campaigns, despite their often superficial appearance, can indeed yield profound and lasting societal benefits beyond mere awareness. Today, the Ice Bucket Challenge is a historical moment, a memory of a particularly chilly summer. However, its impact continues. It remains a benchmark for how social media can be leveraged for massive philanthropic success. The challenge is often cited in discussions about effective online fundraising and the potential for a collective, if temporary, global effort to tackle significant issues. It stands as a testament to the power of a simple, shareable idea, when combined with a compelling cause, to transcend the digital sphere and leave a lasting mark on scientific progress and human lives. Our investigation into these pop culture moments reveals a clear cycle. They often begin with a simple, replicable idea, rapidly gain traction through social sharing and celebrity endorsement, reach a peak of saturation, and then, inevitably, fade. This pattern holds true whether the moment is a chaotic dance, a plea for justice, or a philanthropic stunt. According to digital sociologist Dr. Anya Sharma, the internet amplifies everything: passions, humor, outrage. But this amplification also shortens the lifespan of any single phenomenon. We are wired for constant novelty. But what elevates these fleeting fads to history? It's not just their viral reach. It's their ability to reflect, however briefly, a collective sentiment, a technological shift, or a societal aspiration. The Harlem Shake mirrored our desire for spontaneous, shared joy. Connery 2012 illuminated both the potential and the peril of digital activism. Planking revealed a playful, sometimes dangerous, subversion of the mundane. And the Ice Bucket Challenge demonstrated the Internet's capacity for mass compassion and tangible impact. These moments, now historical, offer insights into the values and anxieties of their time. As we conclude our investigation, we're left to ponder the future. With new platforms emerging and algorithms becoming ever more sophisticated, the cycle of viral phenomena is only set to accelerate. Will future generations look back at today's TikTok trends with the same mix of amusement and analytical curiosity? Our journey through the Harlem Shake, Connery 2012, planking, and the Ice Bucket Challenge serves as a reminder: the internet never forgets, even if our attention spans are ever shortening. These historical moments are not merely relics, they are lessons in the digital human experience.